Today we are talking about policies. The second research paper in this class is going to be about a policy where you are going to analyze some form of public or private policy for your paper. If you go to the internet, you'll see the definition for policy is a course or principle of action adopted or proposed by a government, party, business, or individual. For example, if you use in the sentence the administration's controversial policies. Policies can be laws that the government passes that we all must follow, or they can be rules that businesses pass that everyone must follow, or they can be private. It's a very vast array of different things, but they're basically rules that govern collective groups of people. For this paper, you are going to have to pick a policy and you are going to have to research it and you're going to have to analyze it, right? So what are policies? Let's give an example. You remember the COVID-19 crisis, the COVID-19 pandemic? Well, a lot of businesses adopted policies where people who walk into those businesses must wear a mask. And if you remember at the time, wearing a mask indoors was a very contentious debate in our country. Some people refuse to wear masks. Some people refuse to abide by those policies. But those were policies, rules that were put in place by businesses and local governments in order to have people wear these masks in an effort to stop the spread of the COVID-19 virus. Now, if you are someone who didn't think that was a good idea, that's great. That's a good paper for you right there, right? The mask mandate that the public schools had, restaurants had, any of those things right there is a great topic for your paper. But that's an example of a policy. The mask, having to wear a mask in schools and in restaurants and other businesses. They can also be policies such as speed limits, right? If you go out on the interstate, the speed limit in Tennessee is 70 miles an hour on the interstate. That's, if you're someone like me that likes to drive fast, that's something worth investigating and analyzing, right? When I moved from here to Spokane, Washington, there were states up in the Northwest where you could drive 100 miles. Well, there's no speed limit. You could drive as fast as you wanted on those roads. Do those states have more accidents than Tennessee? I don't know, but it'd be interesting to look into. It'd be interesting to research and analyze. So speed limits, those are policies, right? There were the big historical policies of the 1970s, such as the Civil Rights Act. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in class. There were other policies of dress codes. If you ever go into a convenience store, you'll see a sign that says no shirts, no shoes, no service, right? That's a policy that convenience store has in order to, regulate how customers are dressed in that convenience store. There are policies in place for your schools. There's dress codes. There's, rules to have in the dormitories. There's policies everywhere you look. What you have to do is pick a policy that you can write a 5-page paper about. So it's got to be something pretty big to write about. If you write about your dorm and the fact that they won't allow girls after midnight, that's a policy and that's worth analyzing. And maybe you can get 5 pages out of that, but that would be a lot to do to try and get 5 pages. However, if you do the policy of the Civil Rights Act of 1970, you get a lot there, right? If you go with the policy of gay marriage, for example, it wasn't until the last 10 years or so that gay men and women could marry each other. That is a policy that's up for contentious debate. And so that's something that's worth looking into and worth analyzing. I mean, there's going to be a lot of stuff out there that you can get sources on should you choose that route. There's always the policy of abortion. There's the policies of teaching race relations in school, sex education, all kinds of stuff, right? So basically, you can pick any policy you want. You can pick a law. You can pick a state law. You can pick rules that businesses must follow. The only thing I ask is that whatever topic you choose, if you don't find a lot of information about that topic, be okay with changing if you can't find enough stuff about your stuff. But that is my quick presentation on policies. If you have any questions, please email me. But that's what a policy is.